America defeated the superpower Great Britain. 250 years ago, courageous colonies dared to defy one of history's most formidable empires. This is more than a story of military triumph. It's the birth of a nation and the dawn of a new era of freedom. In the mid-1700s, the 13 American colonies found themselves under the heavy hand of British rule. The Crown levied heavy taxes on tea, paper, stamps, without giving the colonists a voice in their governance. It was not just taxation, it was tyranny without representation. Scene fades to angry colonists defiantly protesting, with a vivid reenactment of the Boston Tea Party. Narrator: the atmosphere was charged with frustration, and the spirit of rebellion simmered beneath the surface. From the Boston Tea Party's bold defiance to the fervent debates in town halls, the call for independence swelled to a mighty roar. In 1775, the first shots of the Revolutionary War echoed through Lexington and Concord. A ragtag group of colonists stood firm against the world's greatest military power. Dramatic pause, the scene shifts to British ships arriving, troops disembarking with an air of invincibility. Narrator: Great Britain boasted the strongest navy, a seasoned army, and vast resources. The colonists were outmanned and outgunned. Yet, they possessed something more powerful, a cause worth dying for. The pursuit of liberty was their rallying cry. Scenes of George Washington leading his resilient troops, farmers grabbing muskets with determined resolve, and women fervently sewing flags. Scenes of George Washington leading his resilient troops, farmers grabbing muskets with determined resolve, and women fervently sewing flags. Scenes of George Washington leading his resilient troops, farmers grabbing muskets with determined resolve, and women fervently sewing flags. Narrator: under the unwavering leadership of General George Washington, a dedicated farmer-turned-warrior, the Continental Army braved bitter winters, meager provisions, and relentless losses. At Valley Forge, they endured biting cold and gnawing hunger, emerging more robust and unified for the trials ahead. Their spirit of resilience became their greatest weapon. Cut to Benjamin Franklin negotiating with diplomatic finesse in a grand European hall. Narrator: America, though seemingly alone, was not without friends. In 1778, Benjamin Franklin's diplomatic brilliance forged an indispensable alliance with France. French soldiers, ships, and resources tipped the balance, transforming a regional rebellion into a global struggle, spreading British forces thin. Reenactments of pivotal battles, Saratoga's turning point, bold maneuvers at Trenton, and the siege of Yorktown. Narrator: in the face of overwhelming adversity, the colonies began to achieve the unthinkable. At Saratoga in 1777, colonial forces struck a significant blow to the British, showcasing to the world that victory was within their grasp. On a frigid Christmas night, Washington's audacious surprise attack at Trenton reinvigorated the colonies with newfound hope and determination. Scene shifts to Yorktown, cannons thunder, and the humbled British surrender. Narrator: then, in 1781, came the war's turning point at Yorktown. American and French forces joined forces, encircling the British army, compelling General Cornwallis's surrender. Against all odds, the once underdog colonists had vanquished an empire. Scene of the Treaty of Paris being signed in 1783, with a solemn yet jubilant atmosphere. Narrator: in December 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed, sealing the United States' hard-won sovereignty. A fledgling rebellion had transformed into an epic-changing revolution that resonated across nations and time. Scenes of joyous celebrations throughout the colonies, fireworks soaring above Independence Hall in majestic splendor. Narrator: America's triumph was not merely about defeating Britain. It was a testament to the indomitable spirit of unity, the unyielding pursuit of self-determination, and the enduring belief in freedom. It demonstrated that ordinary individuals, driven by magnificent ideals, could indeed achieve the impossible. A sunrise paints the sky with vivid hues over the rising American flag. Narrator: thus, the United States was born, not just a nation, but a beacon of hope and liberty for all who dare to dream of freedom. This This tale of America's quest for independence continues to light the way for the brave and free, inspiring generations and events in our land of liberty. The music crescendos, screen fades to black, leaving the audience with a deep sense of pride and inspiration.